everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of TrashTalk. Today's TrashTalk episode is going to be a bit of a different one. If you're familiar with my Malay episode, where me and Malay had more of a debate and maybe more of an argument like that, this is what today's episode is going to be more. It isn't going to be an episode where we're going through AJ's past, where he started on YouTube and then evolving and stuff. We're going to be speaking about some of his actions, and it's going to be more of like a in-depth interview for some of the most recent stuff going on. So how you been, AJ?
Uh, not that good.
Right. So I just want to go through everything, not chronologically, just reading off my points.
Yeah, sure.
Um. So the one of the first things that I
Yeah,
do want to bring up is I feel like this is just a great place to start. Is your parlor video.
yeah,
Now you said some not true stuff in that video, right?
yeah, that's true.
Just on record, what were those things? What were those things that you said which were untrue?
I said some stuff about him, like, when he had, like, that suicide shit, and I said, like, he was a bitch for, I guess, doing that shit, which I fully disavow now. It was
Hmm.
not good for me to even say that at all. I should have done more
Yep.
research on it.
And I do really want to get out the just the whole
Yes.
accusation things right at the beginning,
Yeah, sure.
because I feel like that's some of the most important things. Is it true that you falsely accused based Azers of having CP?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was your relation to accusing Ace Knee Sleep of having CP in relation to the Greta Thunberg image or
We're talking
GIF?
about Ace Needs Sleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with Ace, right? I was pretty much I was going after checks at the time, saying, "Oh, you were falsely accusing Ace Needs Sleep," right?
Hmm.
And then I was being told like, "Oh, LT Michael was kind of the one who started the whole thing," right?
Yeah.
And then I messaged him saying like, "How does Ace Needs Sleep have like CP or whatever?" And then he like pretty much just would describe me how it was like CP and shit.
Hmm.
If you want, I can pull up the DMs and just read them out.
It's fine. I'll take your word.
Okay.
I,
Um,
I
but
only
yeah,
take your word
I'm just
purely because I know about the situation
yeah,
at the
I'm
time.
just gonna summarize it. If you do need screenshots, you can like contact me
You know.
about that. But yeah, he pretty much described it to me, and then yeah, I ended up taking his word for some reason, and yeah, that's how it
So you,
happened.
so
I
you were one of the people that falsely accused Ace to sleep of having CP, right?
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. And of course, LT Malcolm made an apology, like saying like he was sort of misguided, didn't really know what's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on,
yeah.
and you
Yeah.
retracted your stuff and you wiped your stuff as well. But that's an important thing because, like, apart
Mhm,
from like a little clip where you said that
mhm,
like it was LT Michael's fault,
mhm,
um, there is nothing to associate you or tie you with that,
mhm.
apart from like a couple of misguided screenshots. So it's nice to now have that, you've confirmed you were involved. Uh,
Yeah,
which it sort of takes me into like the Nazi clip.
the Nazi clip. Um,
Yeah. To just let's get your full like
which,
views out there that was recorded in
which
the call one with Ace,
yeah,
like Ace
yeah,
Howler.
I didn't knew that was being recorded, so I thought like I
Hmm.
could like guess trust you guys with like personal info, but I guess not because I got recorded on call. So yeah.
Let's specify here as well that it
Mhm.
wasn't me or Amos or who got
Yeah, I
recorded,
know.
because you've just generalized that we were all in the recording, which was not the
No,
case.
no, I'm saying like yeah, Ace. That's what I'm talking about. But
Um, but it is now a public clip, so I'm
yeah,
going
it
to speak
is.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Which it is, it's hard to feel like sympathy because you
Hmm.
incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
You did it yourself in a public VC, so it's hard to feel bad because like Ace isn't like he can record that if he wants because it was in a public VC, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but just like we've got the clip. You said that when you were 16, you were
Hmm.
like embraced being a Nazi.
Yeah.
You say in this clip that you hated gay people and trans people, right? At the time.
Yeah. That was at the time. I
Um,
disavow the
but
views now.
hmm which we've also got the clip of that.
Hmm.
You also say you hated, but you disliked, not hated, but you disliked black people.
Yeah.
Which like just like so I can repeat it. Did you, when you were a Nazi, dislike black people?
Uh, yeah, I did pretty much.
And like, just so we can reiterate, this isn't like a meme, was it? Not like you were like it was a meme originally, and then you embraced it, right?
Yeah, I embraced it. It was started off
But
with a meme, and then
your dislike for gay people, trans people, and black people wasn't a
mm,
meme, right? If this wasn't just like a joke,
that was also a joke. That also started as a joke as well.
yeah.
And
But
then started embracing those views.
yeah, so there's just like
Yeah,
thing. It started off as a joke, but then you
yeah,
started actually disliking black people, trans people, and gay
yeah,
people, right?
yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Because I know a lot of
Mhm,
people that may not know about that will say, "Oh, it's based, right? Like he's joking, whatever."
mhm.
Which originally you were, but then you did embrace it, right? I think that's really important to note that you genuinely
Yeah,
believed a lot of these
I
values
yeah. Eventually, I
and
did.
views. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a really important thing to like differentiate, right? There's a lot of
Mhm.
people, especially within commentary, that joke about being like a Nazi or hating black people and gay people, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's a difference to
Mhm.
actually genuinely believing it, which
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel was like important to mention here. Um, which another thing as well, like just speaking about hating things as well, is like your stuff about women.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
which there's a clip
Mhm.
that came from around the same time as well,
Yeah.
where you say that you dislike all women within the community due to one woman accusing one of your friends at the time.
Yeah.
So was that just women
I
in general or women in the community?
women in the community, but I disavow what I said there. That was just should have never been said or even thought about it. You know?
So again, to just make this clear,
Mhm.
you like over your time on YouTube and like, being like just being a person or whatever,
Um, Go on.
since you were 16, right? Uh, you were originally a Nazi who disliked black
Mhm.
people, gay people, and trans people,
Yeah.
and women within the community.
Well, the whole women shit started like what I think it was like. It wasn't like at age 16
No, that's what I'm
or
saying. Since you were
something.
16, that's what I
Uh,
said. Since,
yeah, but I
but
didn't. The whole hating women thing in the community was like I started to think that like sometime like what October
hmm
of
yeah,
2023.
but yeah, but that's exactly why I said since, right? So since you were 16, those are the things that you've been through, right? And you believed in.
Yeah, the whole Nazi shit. Yeah, I did
hmm
believe in it at some point. Disavow it.
hmm
Cringe.
Cringe, yeah. And another thing that I do want to speak about
Hmm.
is, of course, the Frosty situation. I'm not going to go into depth in that because I don't want to touch that now. It's been mudded completely.
Yeah, I got.
But Frosty was accused of having CP and doxing Pindrix, correct? Or you were
Yes.
accusing him. Um, Now you went on a debate with Doc on the radio, like
Yeah.
hosting it on a live stream
Yeah.
with Doc on the
Yes.
radio, Toastify, and there was a bunch of other people like Smaggle
Yeah.
there as well. You came there completely unprepared, right? And you
Yeah.
fumbled it completely. You made Frosty look better than he actually was going in there, and it was saved by Robin, right?
Yeah.
Doc told you for timestamps and stuff. You were told in advance, and you basically didn't have any of it.
Mhm.
And it took you ages to get to the actual CP part because you
Yeah.
kept like whatever. So then,
Mhm.
when you're told that you could get maybe another opportunity on Ace's stream, why didn't you properly get all the evidence together in a well-rounded manner, right? You got evidence, but you didn't get the right stuff this time.
Mhm.
Was there a reason for that? You said you prepared a lot, but it didn't come off like
Yeah.
that.
That's true. I did say like I prepared it a lot.
Was that a
I
lie? Were you just like, sort of extending the truth there?
huh? Um
Were,
like repeat that?
were you were you lying when you said you prepared for 4 days? Because that doesn't
Oh
seem like something
no,
that you
no,
were
I
doing.
wasn't. No, I wasn't lying. It was like what I meant by a lot. I was really going through the whole Malay shit that Frosty did.
Which is definitely something that could be seen in the debate because you constantly go around that point, which is something that as well you did when talking about Azaz when you falsely accused him of having CP, right? Is
Mhm.
you just circle the same points and put Frosty involved, right? When
Mhm.
Frosty wasn't involved in that situation, right?
Uh,
It
well,
was just an
Frost.
offshoot.
Yeah, but Frosty like posted that shit on a YouTube
Yeah,
video.
but that has no relevance to Azaz, right? Because Azaz got
Oh,
a
Azaz.
screenshot of Malay's cropped in face.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what was
that
saying Azaz when you spoke to Azaz and falsely accused him of having CP.
okay. I disavow that.
But
That was
you bought Frosty and bought the same Frosty arguments and brought up Frosty several times and tried to say that Azaz, right, got that
mhm.
screenshot from Frosty, which we no one knows. Like that isn't confirmed. No one knows that, but you alleged it, right?
Yeah.
um, which like you've said you disavow and stuff, but it doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
That's
just
like a pretty big thing to do to in a space of a week do all of that. And then on top of that, when you get in the Ace stream, right, like we said, you didn't really come properly prepared this time, right? You had bits of
mhm.
evidence, more which was like than you'd had for the doc stuff, but you didn't come properly prepared. So even when Frosty was slipping up and like you both looked like idiots, but there was stuff getting got on Frosty, you sort of ruined it when you sent Amos
Yeah.
a dox of pin tricks.
Hmm.
Um, Now, this docs was a full scrolling docs, like full scrolling to
Yeah.
show that it was a docs, right? This was the same docs that people were going at Frosty for allegedly posting, right?
Yes.
So, doesn't that show your hypocrisy, right? That makes you look like a hypocrite, right? That you posted the same docs that fucking like Frosty did, right?
Uh, yeah. Yeah, you could say
You
that.
can't you can't call someone out for doxing if you've like then just doxed the same person.
Uh, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It makes it like 10 times worse that like that wasn't even meant to be made public at
Yeah.
all. And that was meant to be staying behind the scenes. That was meant to be like kept with like the
Yeah.
people that were genuinely trying to deal with the situation. And then you
Hmm.
threw it in a debate, right? And you say in this stream that this is personal information. Don't click on it. Don't share it. Don't what? No, 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 no. Right. So you knew what was in
Hmm.
there eventually. If it was that you clicked midway through or whatever, you understood that it was personal information on there and it can be shown. So if you realize that, why didn't you just delete it immediately?
Could I clarify on that a bit?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, no, I was on the stream, right, and I did say like, oh, it has personal information, right?
Hmm.
Um, again, I didn't really knew that the docs was in there. I'll
But
say
it
that.
wasn't that the whole proof of the scrolling thing was to prove a docs
It was to prove that Frosty was the Fed's 08 account.
that posted a docs, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So then how did you not know there was a docs in something that was meant to prove a docs?
Well, I forgot there was a docs in there. Yeah,
Doesn't that just make you an idiot?
yeah, it does. Anyways, let me
And
clarify on that.
yeah.
So I was, so pretty much when that was going on, a friend ended up DMing me saying, just say there's like private personal info, and I said that on stream, but
Yeah.
I already fucked myself over there. But yeah, doesn't make it any better. I still fucked up. I completely disavow what I did.
Yeah. And
Mm,
I feel like it's pretty clear that you are somebody that can't be trusted to deal with these sort of situations, right? You falsely
mm,
like you said some false stuff about Parlo, falsely accused Ace Needs Sleep of having CP.
yes,
You falsely accused Based Azers of having CP. You
yes,
then doxed somebody that you were trying to call out somebody else for doxing the exact same person with the exact same information. These aren't little slip ups, right? And the majority of these happened within the past week,
yeah,
right? The AZ stuff and the doxing thing. These
yes,
aren't little slip ups that just affect you or they're maybe a bit scummy or whatever. Because, like I said in my video on you, and several other people said, people always mess up things a little bit, right? People have messed up cases, and like people are people, right? People mess up. But these are more than a few mess ups, especially when people have told you exactly what to do and what to say
mm-hmm,
and how to deal with these situations. Like tens of
mm-hmm,
people have helped you, tried to give you evidence, tried to
mm-hmm,
show you how to debate. Like I know Fabio and other people like tried to set up mock debates for you, right?
yeah,
And you just like what did you, well, why didn't you take their advice on the chin? You said to me that when you watched my video, you agreed with all my points and that you were taking it on the chin, right? You were listening
yeah,
and whatever. And
yeah,
then in this next day, you completely contradicted everything I said in my video and docked someone.
mm-hmm.
Like, it is. Do you not listen to people? Are you naive? Are
I
you arrogant? Like, what is it?
no, I did listen to what you said there.
Then why did you? Why did you end up doing that? It was worse than the doc thing.
I was actually thinking not to even go on there, to be
Why
honest,
did you?
but because I wanted to like kick these guys out of the community, but I guess
You
I
ended up.
ended up
You,
making it worse.
you ended up kicking yourself out of the community. I think.
Yeah.
Which again, right? Like, I thought it was made pretty clear that like you weren't like fit
Mhm.
enough to go on this debate, right? You fucked one
Yeah.
debate, and you made the situation completely mudded, which was only rescued
Yeah.
by someone else going on there, Robin, who went on the doc one and helped, right?
Mhm.
Then the exact same thing happened with the second one, right? The only
Yeah.
reason anything came of that was because Amos and Ace and Parlo, right?
Mm,
But then that got completely overshadowed anyway because you decided to send a docs.
yeah.
So then my question is, right, from this point on, what do you do? Where do you go? What's your plan?
What do you mean plan?
Are you apologizing? Are you leaving? What are you doing?
I'm apologizing and I'm taking a break for a while.
When you say a while, what we saying? What is a while?
Once I'm not gonna do like something that Nomis did where he took a break for like a month. No, that's fucking cringe. I'm gonna just take a break for a few months. Fell silent.
Um, and I know a lot of criticism is he shouldn't be dealing with situations like this, topics like this, or even being commentary or whatever, and be doing commentary.
Mm.
Uh, do you take that advice on, or will you be like doing the exact same stuff when you come back, dealing with these
I
cases that you
I
can't handle?
I will not be doing any of the past actions I've done.
It's pretty clear that you've stated that you disavow it.
Yeah, I disavow it. I'm taking a break for a while.
But then can you understand people's doubt in it? Because a lot of the time, like with a lot of
Mhm.
these situations, you say you disavow it, like, oh, I didn't mean that, I regretted that, and like, I didn't mean to send his doctor, whatever. But then when it comes to other people, you didn't give them the charitable nature,
Yeah,
right? You didn't give
yeah.
them the option. When we sat there with Azaz, you didn't
Mm.
look at it from either way. You looked
Mhm.
at it from your narrow mind view of the fact
Yeah.
that he maliciously downloaded child porn, and that's the narrative you
Mhm.
ran with. You took your own narrative as evidence in that situation. You didn't listen
Yeah.
to any of the other sides or possibilities of what could happen there. So then why should people give you that? Why should people say, okay, right, he's saying he's disavowing, I'm going to believe him? Or when you've shown that you can't be trusted, and then you haven't given people that charitability yourself. So then why should anyone else do that for you?
Um, just like I said, I don't know. I
Is there,
really
is
should.
there is there genuinely a reason that like we should trust you? Because actions speak louder than words. And so far, your words have meant nothing. So, is there a genuine reason that people should believe that you want to change, that you're trying to disavow stuff, that we should
Well,
give you that charitable nature? Like, is there
the
something there?
action I'm taking is apologizing and
Taking a
leaving
break.
for a few months. Yeah.
Will you actually adhere to that? Will you actually take that
I
break?
I will actually take that right. Yeah, I am gonna leave for a few months. This is like the last public appearance for
So,
this.
I know you're making like an apology and stuff. Is that on
Yeah,
Twitter?
Twitter and on TrashTalk whenever
Yeah.
like
Well,
speaking.
Well, that's what I asked. Do you want to apologize to everyone you've like falsely accused and stuff on
Yeah.
here, and apologize to people like Krillex and Mythical for like absolutely like destroying any chance they have at like covering the Frosty stuff?
Yeah. Can I apologize now? Or
Yeah, apologize. Yeah, you
okay.
apologize.
Yeah. I'm sorry to Parlo for saying that shit about you. That was just horrible, and I should have done more research on it. Um, I'm also sorry to Base Days for like mostly accusing you. That I should have given you more of a charitability. Um, just like if I want people to give me charitability, I never gave that to anyone.
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, that I disavow that. Just it was cringe.
hmm
Terrible. I'm also sorry to like Krillix and Mythical for like completely destroying this case and mudding in the waters. Um, yeah, that is just terrible. I'm also sorry to like Amos and stuff.
There is one person you're forgetting to make an apology to. I feel like the biggest one that deserves an apology.
Ace,
No, Pindrix, the person you
Pindrix.
posted
Oh,
the
oh yeah,
docs.
yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry. I'm also sorry to Pindrix for like doing that shit to you. I know you trusted me with that. I really should have went through the scroll through again and checked, and should have not sent it ever. That was just wrong for me to do. Yeah, I
And then,
fully admit
mhm.
that I did wrong here, and I disavow it. I know you guys won't believe me that um, actions like speak louder than words. My action here that I'm taking, I'm apologizing. I'm also gonna apologize on Twitter. I'm also gonna be reaching out to you, Pindrix, like in personal DMs after this um interview, I guess. And also leaving the whole community for like a few months, reflect on myself.
My one question is that something that I
Mm,
don't feel like has been brought up publicly really, apart from in the Aza's call, which is really late on, is that
mm,
throughout the Frosty stuff, dealing with all of it, you targeted every single person apart from Janky Shining. Is there a reason for that?
every person.
You had
Mm,
targeted several people involved in the Frosty stuff, including Azaz, who had fuck all to do with it, just because he like had a picture of Malay's like face. So, what was the reason you never ever really referenced Shining and his involvement?
um, well, you see, I didn't knew that he even like was involved with the whole.
But then when you got told several weeks ago, why didn't you do anything then or mention it at all? Like
Because
anywhere.
I was waiting for the whole Frosty shit to clear up. Honestly,
But then that doesn't work because you went off to Azaz.
yeah. I think it was like the wrong guy to even go after for that shit.
So would you say that you overlooked Shining maybe out of the fact that he used to be your friend? Would that be a fair analysis that you didn't understand what was going on there? You didn't really want to go after him because deep down you still had some form of like connection to him because he was once your friend.
Uh, yeah.
Would that be like a fair assumption to make?
I I guess, but again, I didn't knew that he even
But
had
then you knew
taken.
for several weeks after when you got told, you knew for several weeks and you didn't do anything with it or even bring it up. You didn't even have to do anything with it. You just had to bring it up or mention it, and it never did. It never got mentioned.
Mm,
Which, but then I wouldn't have even minded if you didn't then go and falsely accuse Azaz. If you went out your way to do that, I don't know why you didn't do it with Shining. And even in the thing, you acknowledged that you knew. So I just felt like this is my view on it that you shouldn't be trusted with situations like this because you're biased. You were completely biased to Shining because you were once his friend. And I'm not saying whatever Shining's confirmed or whatever he's done, whatever. I'm not saying anything like that. But his involvement was there, and it was at least accused of being involved, and you didn't even look into it. So then, my thing is, then why should people trust you with these sort of situations? And like, it's pretty clear that originally you had kind intent, and that this wasn't malicious, right? You never maliciously did anything here. But it's retardation, right? You constantly fucked up and for
yeah,
your own retardation,
I would
which
say that.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter going, well, at this point, does it matter if it's retardation or malicious intent? Which I still think it matters, right? You weren't maliciously doing these things, but
No,
you still did them anyway. It doesn't excuse it. It just means that's why you did it because you're a retard.
it
Like
gives context to it.
it gives context to why you did it, but it's
Yeah,
still like just like you've done it so much
yeah,
that like a lot of people aren't that charitable anymore, right? A lot of people don't look at that and go, okay, well he's forced to accuse several people at this point. Like why? How? Like how can that just be like whatever? Like I genuinely think you
mhm,
have good intentions for a lot of the things you do,
mhm,
and try and say and try and deal with, but you don't know how to word things, even in your videos. Right? You don't know how to word things. You don't know how to come across. You bring up things about scripts when there are big elephants in the room, right?
mhm,
You like bring up like a wrestling degenerate who just
mhm,
wants to equal rights for women. But then even when
mhm.
yourself around the similar time didn't like women in the community, so you were a hypocrite. You don't know how to word things, debate, get evidence and stuff, deal with situations, and even little minute ones like the Lanza stuff. Lyrics didn't know how to deal with that. You were more focused on the fact he made a throwaway joke about you.
Yeah,
So, like, I don't get how that people can trust you. Like, do you get that? Can you see people's criticism there?
yeah. I see people's criticisms.
And of course, like I said, actions speak louder than words, and I'm hoping that you're going to stick to your word and take a break. Which I'm not like I don't care if you take a break. This isn't like I'm not forcing you. I don't. That's not my right. I'm not going to be like clappy here, where he like 4-0 to stay off Twitter. I'm like whatever. But if
Mhm,
you say that in your own free will, right? You say that you want to take a break and you are leaving.
mhm.
Like I'm hoping that can be trusted, right? And that you are going to make an apology as well on Twitter.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely do that after, like, just before I leave.
Hmm.
I'll definitely like reflect on stuff a lot.
Uh, and is there anything else you specifically want to say?
Let me think. I think that's about it.
My last thing would be that just remember
Mm,
to apologize to Pindrix in your apology, because you forgot to here, and if it wasn't for me bringing it up, you would have forgot.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
so just remember to actually
I'll
apologize to
yeah,
everyone.
I'll definitely DM like Pendrix about it.
Maybe as well, my advice would be before you post that apology,
Mm,
send it to someone to overlook it, because it's pretty clear
mm,
that when you're left to your own devices, you can't phrase things properly. But
mm,
people have given you help here, right? Like Krillix and Amos, and people have said, look, if you
yeah.
need this, just come, whatever. And you haven't. So genuinely, take this as advice when you're writing that, and when you're
Mm,
finished, send it to someone so they can look over it.
yeah. I'll do that.
Um, this is just wrapping up the episode. This is an episode that, like, I don't usually like to make these episodes, but I feel like this is one that's more needed, right? I feel like this
Mm,
is one which is 100% needed to speak to you, get your statements out there, because there is everything that I've brought up. There is ample evidence, you admitting to it in VCs and stuff. But here's just a concise thing where you've like explained it, admitted to everything, and like apologize, right?
yeah.
Um, so on that note, AJ, thank you for coming on and just speaking about a lot of the issues a lot of people had,
Mm,
and questions and stuff that I've seen on Twitter, in our groups and stuff, just things
mm,
that people were wondering. And thank you everyone for watching today's episode of Trash Talk. Next week will be a usual episode of Trash Talk. But if you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like and
mm.
subscribing. I've been your host, Samuel. I've been here with AJ, and I will catch you in the next episode of Trash Talk.